Right, so now we're going through part B. Let's see what it says and let's be as quick as we can. It says, consider the sets A and B where A is equal to, so set A will be equal to 3 and the modulus of B, right? 3 and the modulus of B. All right, no problem. And then the other set, what is it? Set B will be equal to 1, then the modulus of A, which is the size of A, then the size of B. Well, we know that size is a number. So there's going to be some number here, which is the size of B. Then there's going to be some number here, which is the size of A, and some number here, which is the size of B. So let's they say, what are the sets A and B? So let's work with that. Let's try to. So I'm going to say, so what we're going to be doing is it's about how we're going to just calculate it, okay? Because we're going to try and find what are the possible numbers that we can have and see if it's going to be correct. So let's see. If I'm going to make what we can, let's start with what? Let's start with the size of A, right? So what are the possible? What is the possible size when we have A having 3 and the modulus of B like this? How many elements could A have? What are the possible answers for the modulus of A? We know that modulus of A can be equal to 1 and modulus of A can be equal to 2. You say to me, what? How come? So I'm going to say there's something you got to know and remember. Is that, let's say, if set A was equal to 3 and 3, right? What would this be? Here we would say that the modulus of A is 1. Because when we talk about the cardinality, okay, the cardinality of A, the size of A, we're saying how many things does it have inside it. And remember, we count any element only once. We don't count 3 twice. So here it's actually just having A like this. Okay, we never count 3 twice, even if it is written twice. So here we would have the modulus of A be equal to what? But, so that is if you choose to have modulus of B be equal to 3. So now we have quite a problem here. Because let's say here, this modulus of B here, if we say the size of B is 3, which it looks like the size of B is 3, but if we choose the size of B to be 3, right, that means here we would come and have the modulus of B here being 3. That means we would have set A being have 3 and 3. That means its modulus would be 1. Now, if the modulus of A is 1, that means where there is modulus of A, where there is cardinality of A, we need to put 1. Now, if we put 1 here, that means modulus of B can't be 3. You understand? Because that means B would now be 1, 1, and some letter which is 3, which we say the modulus of B will be 3. But in here, we cannot say the modulus of B here is 3. That's wrong. In here, the modulus would be 2 because you'd have a 1 and a 1 and a whatever. You understand? So it's like, let's restart so people understand, because I know somebody may be saying, I don't really understand. So we are going back and forth. We are trying to choose numbers. We need to choose true numbers. Don't rush. All right, so we are saying, we are going to try and choose numbers that will make it correct. Okay, so we will have the modulus of A, we need to give it a number, and the modulus of B, we'll give it a number, and we'll see if it's going to be true for both sets. And I say the modulus of A can either be 1 or the modulus of A can be 2. If the modulus of A is 1, that means the modulus of B, here it would now be a 1. If the modulus of A is 1, that means what number would this have been? The modulus of B, it would have been 3. So that means the modulus of B would have been 3. But is that possible? We would now go to set B and see if that is possible. We would have 1, then 3, because those numbers should come in here. And will this give us a modulus of 3? This is not going to be a modulus of 3. This would give us a modulus of 2. So that means the modulus of 3 would be a false one, okay? So that means 1 and 3 are impossible. Let's try to have the modulus of A be 2 and the modulus of B be 3. What would that mean? That means in here, we would have set A be equal to 3, then the modulus of B, which we said should be 3. So it will be 3, then 3. That would make the modulus of A not be 2. It would make it 1. So this is wrong again. Because the only way to actually have the modulus of B be 3, it is if the modulus of A is 2. Okay? If the modulus of A is 2, then we would have now the size of B be 3. But here, would have to put a 3. If we put a 3 in here and we put a 3 in here, the modulus of A would actually not be 2. So what number can we choose? We would now say, okay, let's try. We need to pick two numbers. We're just trying to pick two numbers. Let's say the modulus of B is 2 and the modulus of A is 2. All right. So that would mean now that set A would actually be 3, 2. And will this give us a modulus of 2? The modulus of A here would be 2, which agrees with this. And that means now set B would be equal to 1, then the modulus of A, which we said is 2, then the modulus of B, which we said is 2. And the modulus of this set would actually be 2, which agrees with this. So there we have it. So we are going to say modulus of A is equal to 2. You do it with a pencil, the working which I've been doing. Then the modulus of B will be equal to 2. Right? You understand? I'll try to repeat it. So what we were trying to do is pick values that make it correct. We would guess values for modulus of A and modulus of B and see if they agree with the sets. So when we chose the modulus of A to say let the modulus of A be 2 and the modulus of B be 2, then we say let's now go and test that and see if it's true. So we said that would make set A be made up of 3, modulus of B, which we've chosen to be 2 here. So it'll be like this. Set A would have 3, 2. And that would mean its modulus would actually be 2 because it has two different numbers. And it agrees with this, with the guesswork which you have done. Then we said, okay, that would mean that set B would now be 1, the modulus of A, which is 2, and the modulus of B, which is 2. And if we get the cardinality of B here, we would get it to be 2, which agrees with this. So that is what we would have. So we can actually now say modulus of A is this. So we can say set A will be equal to 3, 2. Then we would have set B be equal to 1, 2, 2. We can now say that means set B is actually equal to 1, 2. And that is what would happen, and we would be done. Okay, this is what would have, and this would be done. So you might as well just leave it if you want to leave it as this. Still correct, but this is going to be your final solution, and you would be done. Okay, you understand? Yes, I hope you did understand. Now we would now need to do part C, and we'll do it in the next video. Goodbye for now.